Hey, what's happening, people? What's going on? What is going on? What is going on? Somebody sent me this. I'm looking at this video. I don't usually talk about him. I don't say one word about this guy at all. I don't say one word about him at all. But I'm going to say that yes, I was there when him and Jonathan Mason marched for Black Lives Matter. I was there. So he can run around. He can run around because right now he's trying to get himself from up under Black Lives Matter. He's doing all he can to get himself. He said 3 lesbian women founded Black Lives Matter and stole a bunch of money to go buy houses in the white neighborhood. I never told black people not to leave their neighborhoods if they have success. I don't usually ever say anything. But I was there. I marched with this dude and Jonathan Mason. When they march, now we can sit here and we can go, oh, it was at the federal building. It was for federal and all this you want. But I know what I saw with my own eyes. I look. I know a lot of people who did march with Black Lives Matter have done things for the small groups of Black Lives Matter here in the state of Minnesota. I know a lot of people. I will never back down for what I did for the elderly, for single mothers, for people who couldn't get around, for walking up and down the streets, protecting the community, marching for Justine Diamond and her family. When it comes to Black Lives Matter, I will never, ever, you will never hear me back down. I was at the stadium. I was at the Viking Stadium. Colin Kaepernick first came out. I was there with everybody else on my knee with my fist in the air. I don't have a problem in telling the truth about nothing that I've ever done. But when you've done it and people can prove that you try to lie about it, because everybody's on you because of your affiliation with Black Lives Matter or your affiliation with black culture. Get on me. Get on me all you want. You can say I'll tell you what you want to know. What do you want to know? I ain't ashamed. I've never and I will never be ashamed of my blackness ever. You will never hear me talking about being ashamed of who I am. I'm a black man. I'm proud. I love being me. I do. I love being me. Now, this young man here, he's trying to backpedal. He's trying to backpedal. But I was right there with him. I watched him. I watched him take pictures with the signs and all the Black Lives Matter stuff. That happened in real time. No, I don't care what he's telling y'all. I'm telling you where I was. I'm telling you what was going on, and I'm telling you what happened. Period, point blank. What's going on, John? It's been one of those days, my friend. It's been one of those days, but you know what? Everything is all good. Everything is all good. What's going on, fam? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's a Monday. I hope everybody has had an awesome, awesome, awesome weekend. It has been a crazy week, right? Leading up to the Super Bowl. It was a crazy week with you guys as president and what he did and what some of the black Republicans here, the 4 black Republicans that we have in the state of the 4 black Republicans that we have in the state of Minnesota. No, it's 5. Wait a minute. No, 4. It's 4. Sorry. The 4 black Republicans that we have in the state of Minnesota. I'm not shocked at all with them. I'm not shocked that Lisa Damoth sat quietly by, and here's the thing that y'all don't understand, and here's what a lot of y'all have to get to the point to where so a lot of y'all have to get to the point where you need to understand. You need to understand that white folks is not good. Let me make sure y'all understand where I'm going with this tonight, because a lot of times y'all get this thing in your head, just like the Super Bowl and everything else. Y'all get this thing in your head that it's power. And what you're not understanding is power doesn't work that way anymore. It doesn't. Because you need people. So you got Lisa Damoth, who is half white, half black. But she lives her life as if she's white. Let's call it what it is, right? Like I said, I call balls and strikes. Be mad at me if you want to. I really don't give a damn today. You got Kendall Qualls. As far as I know, he grew up of the black culture, but if you go over to the Republican Party, you have to give, no, you do. If you go over to the Republican Party, you have to give up your blackness. You have to give up your culture, and you have to assimilate to what they want you to be. Period, point blank. Those are facts. Kendall Qualls and Lisa Damoth has done that. Lisa Damoth ain't never been in the black community. Ain't never done nothing. Well, no, I can't say that. Because what I did find out is Lisa Damoth came through the back door to meet with some people in the black community. As if I wasn't going to find out. She didn't call me and say, hey, Rev, I'd like to sit down and meet with you and talk with you and maybe come to your church or get to know you or something like that. She didn't say that. She snuck through the back door and met with some people. As if they wasn't going to call me and go, hey, Lisa Damoth was down here? Oh, really? She ain't never been down here any other time. Ain't never called up and asked, can I help the black community? Can I do anything for the black community? At all. At all. We ain't seen a Lisa Damoth. But all of a sudden, Lisa goes and runs for governor. And lo and behold, the Republicans is in the House. Sorry, Lisa, but we ain't buying what you selling. We're not. We're not. Years ago when I shook your hand, Lisa Damoth, and I asked you to have a sit down with me, I asked you when I can meet with you. Ain't never heard from you. You ain't never called me up and said, hey, Rep, here's my open dates. Which date do you want? Ain't never said a word to me. Every single time. Not every single time. Same thing with Kendall Qualls. I thought Kendall Qualls changed. I thought Kendall Qualls got the message the last time he ran for governor, that he can't run around Minnesota scaring white people about black people. I thought for sure. So I called, asked him, if you ever see him, ask him. I did. I called Kendall Qualls up before he even announced he was running, because I thought he was a changed man. And I thought he was going to do things different. I thought when he was with Michelle Tafoya, which I got something to say about her tonight too, but when him and Michelle Tafoya was running around Minnesota talking about CRT scaring white people, I called Kendall Qualls out on that. And I thought maybe this man had changed. Maybe he was going to start coming in the community. Maybe he was going to start doing things for the community. No, Kendall Qualls did not change. So when I called Kendall up, I said, hey, dude, are you going to run? Because if you're going to run this time, I want to get behind you. Because, again, I thought he had changed his ways. So I go in and I sit down with a group of, and I completely forgot. But I sit down with a group of ministers, black ministers, and I said, here's the deal. So I tried to present Kendall Qualls to them. And then I was gonna put together another table to have Kendall Qualls come in and sit down with us and go over what he was going to do. And then they reminded me that he brought that low down, dirty, sniveling piece of shit, Brandon Tatum, to the state of Minnesota. I completely forgot that that's what he did. And then that's when it hit me that this son of a ain't even changed one bit. He's still the same snake that sat across from me at my church in a chair when I went off on him. And I told him about himself. And I told him to stop doing what he was doing. And I told him he wasn't about the black community. He met with me because he wanted me to stop talking about it. He met with me because he wanted me to get off his back on that crap. Of him not being of the community. And he left my church with his tail between his damn legs, because I wasn't coming off of him. No, I was not coming off of him. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I ain't asked you to like it. I'm telling you to cut the shit out. But he ain't changed either. So neither one of them, cowards, Lisa Damuth, Kendall Qualls, said anything about the video, the little clip of video that a sitting president did on the first black president of these United States. Now, people are talking about, well, Rev, what they say to me, Rev, you should put it in context. I don't have to put a damn things in context. His ass should have put it in context, because the only thing he used was the Obama piece when he put it out there for the public. Why don't you ask his ass to put it in context? Why do I have to put it in context? Why do I got to change his diaper? No, that pissed me off. Maybe it didn't piss you off because you're used to it. You grew up being hateful. They taught you how to be hateful. So that didn't bother you. Didn't bother you that that's what white folks have always done. Put us as monkeys, called us monkeys. Remember when Obama 08, when they put together the Curious George monkey and put bananas and they sold those shirts? See, we don't ever want to talk about this stuff. We don't. I put out a thing, there's a white guy that went down to Alabama. and he decided to help black folk. Don't you know white people killed that man? Because they didn't want change to happen? Because they didn't want people to be treated fairly in justice? They killed that white man. And all he was doing was going down and helping black people. I posted that. Don't you know I got more posts off of a negative thing that I said than a positive thing? That post that I put it out for a reason. Because I sat there and go, let me see how they're going to act on this. And exactly what I thought. There was really no comments on that. Nobody said, wow, that's awesome. Nobody said, thank you for the history lesson. Nobody said, wow, the guy went down there and he gave his life for injustice. Nobody said a word about it. But the minute I post something ugly, nasty, and I got almost 1,200 likes off that crap. But no, Kendall Qualls ain't said a word. Lisa Damon didn't say it. I gave them until Monday. I said, Monday when I get on here, if I ain't seen a statement from them two, I'm going to light your ass up. I'm going to be on you for a long time. I'm going to write. If you come to Hennepin County, if I know, I'm going to be in the room with you. I gave you every chance to make a statement. You didn't take me up on that. Watch this. Watch this. All you had to do was just to say something. Now, I wouldn't expect Walter Hudson or A.K. Kamara to do something like that because they didn't grow up in the culture. Y'all don't understand. See, let me explain something to y'all, people. Let me break this down to everybody who don't understand and always get confused about black folks. All right? I grew up in the culture. That's why I am the way I am, that I do the way I do. That's why I love who I am, because I grew up in the culture. I know about the culture. I've been down in the culture. I've been all through the culture. Now, you get people like Walter Hudson. Walter Hudson didn't grow up in the culture. He grew up in a different culture, so he sees things different than what I do. He talks different than I talk. He acts different than I act. Walter Hudson is not of the culture. Y'all need to understand that. Yeah, he's skin, folks. That's about it. That's as close to the culture as Walter Hudson is. But everything else about Walter Hudson ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing. Same thing with A.K. Kamara. A.K. Kamara, he ain't of the culture. AK don't have nothing to do with our culture, and we don't have nothing to do with AK. Y'all ever sell? Listen, go watch that skit that Dave Chappelle does. The racial draft. You ever seen that? Go watch that skit. Them four that I just named, they're in the draft, and we're willing to give them away for nothing. For what the Vikings gave away Sam Darnold to, we're willing to give all four of them away in a lot. So y'all don't never have to guess on them ever again. Being serious, man. Not joking. I'm being dead serious on this. That's why people sit there and say, "Well, Rev, you're like a Republican." No, I'm not like a Republican. No, I may have, conservative values, which I do. All black people, and that's another thing a lot of people don't understand, right? And I know, we get into that whole Democrat, all this here type of stuff when it comes to black people. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when I'm sitting in the barber shop, I'm sitting in a beauty shop, I'm sitting in a black church, we're sitting and talking, Black folks are a conservative group of people. We are straight. We've always been. When we came out, we was a conservative group of people. Give us what we need, leave us the hell alone, and watch what we do. The problem is white folks can't just leave us the hell alone. No, those are facts. Because every place that we built, you raided it. Did you not? You tore it down. You burnt it up. Then you said, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put them in ghettos. We're going to hold them down. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put them in jail. We're going to put all these black men in jail so there's no fathers around. Come on, man. Those are facts. If we're going to have the conversation, let's have the conversation. But those are facts. But we are a conservative group of people. Even though we go hang out with the Democrats. Because the Republicans, reason we don't hang out with Republicans, because bottom line, Republicans don't do a damn thing. Ask Lisa, next time you see Lisa Dumas, who wants to be the governor of this state, have she ever wrote a bill for anything in the black community? Anything in the black? Has she ever wrote a bill for anything in the black community? Ask Lisa that simple question. And she's going to tell you she ain't never worried about any damn thing that went on in the black community. She knows the pain. She knows the killings. She knows the drugs. She knows the education. She knows all of that stuff. Ask her, have she ever worried about anything that goes on? She's going to tell you no, because she ain't never done anything. Now, Kendall Qualls running around trying to act like he doing, they doing this and doing bullshit. Straight bullshit. Just like I told Kendall Qualls when he sat across from me. I ain't never seen you on the streets. Ever. I ain't never seen you on Penn. I ain't never seen you on Broadway. I ain't never seen you on Lindale. I ain't never seen you on 26. I ain't never seen you on Bryant. I ain't never seen you over South. I ain't never seen you on Plymouth. I ain't never seen you on Bloomington. I ain't never seen you on 26, 24th. I ain't never seen you on Chicago. I ain't never seen you on 38th. And I've seen a lot of people. I've never seen you on Hennepin Avenue on a Saturday night. I ain't never seen you on First Avenue on a Saturday night. Ever. You don't do what I do, brother. You know. So when you come into the black community talking about being part of, you ain't never been part, talking about knowing the culture, understanding the culture, being part of the culture. Y'all ass ain't never been part of the culture. You ain't never tried to understand the culture. Ask one of them if they ever been to a Juneteenth. I ain't never seen you all at Juneteenth. And only reason Walter Hudson went down there because I begged him to come down there. Walter came down with his little tent, set it up, had his little microphone. Ain't never seen him down there again. A couple years ago, I put a table together for a group of Republicans, police, some people from Black Lives Matter, and the community at my church. About 5 Republicans showed up. About 5 cops was there. A lot of people in the community was there. A few people from Black Lives Matter showed up. But my whole thing was to give these Republicans who never come into the black community a view and a listen to what the black community is actually saying. That's why I put this thing together. That's why I put it together. Because the Republican Party here in Minnesota don't know nothing about the black community. They don't listen to the black community, and they can't hear the black community. But they always want to run somebody as in statewide elections. But if you're going to be governor, you have to understand that you're going to have to run and deal with everybody. And you're telling me the only time you want to deal with anybody is during an election? Because I guarantee you, once this election over, they're going to come to Hennepin County and they're going to hear from me. But if they lose, Lisa will never come back to Hennepin County. Ever. Ever. She has no reason to. If Kendall gets the nomination, he lose. Kendall ain't never coming back. And the reason I say that is because Scott Jensen, when I was helping Republican Scott Jensen and Matt Burke and I rode around. We rode around North Minneapolis. I took him somewhere everywhere to get him to understand the community. Yeah, Scott Jensen came to my church. Scott Jensen was at my church. I can show you the picture. But after Scott Jensen lost, one of the things that I was hoping that Scott would do was to get involved with what was going on in the community. Understand that, that's a bridge with Scott we could have been building. With Matt Burke. There's a bridge with Matt Burke that we could have been building. I ain't heard from Scott. I haven't heard from Matt. Nothing. And they know what I do. Nothing. Republicans don't want to actually invest or get into the community. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I was told. Exactly what I was told. Because their base don't want them to. Okay. Then we won't bother you. Don't bother us. So I don't really want to see you, but if you come, I'm going to be there. But no, I haven't. Lisa DeMoth or Kendall Qualls, two people who are running for governor, stayed silent on that whole situation. And that's bad. That's not good. And I'm going to remind them. I'm going to remind them every time they're around black folks that they stayed silent and they did nothing and they said nothing. That's not good. But anyway, that's there. There's that. There's that. There's that. Because the bottom line goes, if you want to sit in that seat, you have to come through Hennepin County. You have to. You don't have a choice. Ask Scott Jensen. Ask Scott Jensen. That's all I have to do is just go talk to Scott Jensen. Anyway, so let me get these out of the way real quick, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about tonight too. But I was also disappointed with somebody else on today, because I just saw her tweets today. And sometimes you sit there and you think, no, they're different, you know, and you let certain things go, but you got it here. It's here going. You may want to rethink that, but you go, no, I'm gonna let this go. Michelle Tafoya. I'm serious. I'm disappointed. I really am. Because I thought Michelle Tafoya was different. I thought that I know she was a Republican, and I know she ran around with Kendall Qualls talking about CRT and all of this type of stuff. I know that. But I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. I was. And I've never said anything. I seen some of her tweets, and I was like, maybe she's just doing that to get likes. But when she started talking about what's going on with the Super Bowl and her manner and things that she says, she wasn't bad as Megyn Kelly, which I don't think anybody has been that. That is just demonic. What Megyn Kelly. I mean, it was like if you watch that video of Megyn Kelly talking to Piers Morgan. No, seriously. If you see, the problem is a lot of y'all don't believe that there literally are demons, demonic spirits. It's in the Bible, people. If you read your Bible, you will understand, but a lot of people don't read the Bible. So when someone explaining something to them, then y'all go, oh, he's crazy. No, this isn't about being crazy. Read your Bible. I'm only telling you what's in the Bible, the very thing that y'all swear by. But I want you to go watch this video. It's on my thing of Piers Morgan and Megyn Kelly. It's literally when she's revving up, it's literally as if something took over her body, and this woman lost her mind. And I'm watching this going, oh my God. It literally, it's like it's demonic. Go look at it for yourself. Go look at it it's on my page. When Megyn Kelly is talking to Piers Morgan, it's like if something took over this woman. And the things that she said is unbelievable. And the only thing that I can think of is when Jesus went to the other side and there was a man that was in a cemetery. He was chained up and he was cutting himself. He had lost his mind. But when he met Jesus, he didn't speak. But those that was in him spoke. Listen, people, read your Bible. And they asked Jesus, what are you to do with us? And Jesus was like, come out of them. If Piers Morgan had have been Jesus sitting on that right there having that interview, Piers Morgan should have said, come out of her. Go look at the video yourself, people. I'm not saying it's just to say this. Nobody does that. Nobody goes off like that. And be in the human spirit. Something else went into this woman for her to do and act and say what she did. Period, point blank. You can call me crazy if you want. I'm just looking. I played this thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, right there. Y'all don't believe, if you said, I don't believe in evil spirits, I don't believe in demonic this, I don't believe, go watch that. Go watch Megyn Kelly. Go watch it. Seriously. I'm serious. Don't make no sense. But I am so disappointed because I thought Michelle Tafoya was different. Especially when she decided to run for U.S. Senate. That she was going to leave. She's going to represent the state of Minnesota. Minnesota nice. Everything about us is, we're nice people, and we pride ourselves on being this and being that. That's who I thought the Michelle Tafoya was going to be. And then she started talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm just sitting back going, see, because what you got to understand, my wife is Puerto Rican. My wife is very people that everybody's been talking about. That's my wife. My children are mixed with Puerto Rican. And I have to hear, another bonehead. I forgot this bonehead. This lost soul. He's a Latino. Eric Lucero, the Senate representative out of Elk River. Another one that has to drop his heritage to be in the... And here's the thing about dropping who you are as a person. He's Hispanic. When you have to drop who you are, you feel that you have to go 10 times harder. 10 times harder. So if they take so Eric Lucero, if the white man in the Republican Party takes 3 steps, he has to take 6 steps. Same thing with Walter Hudson. Same thing with A.K. Kamara. But I sat in a Home Depot with Eric Lucero, had conversations with him. I've dealt with Eric. Been on Eric's TV show when he had to say he came to my church. Eric did. Eric Lucero. Eric helped us out. Did Eric Lucero. And because he is a Hispanic male, I thought he was different. But when he called and said, when he put out there a pro-American, because he was talking about the Turn Point USA when they put their thing on. He said he's going to go watch a pro-American. Really? As if people from Puerto Rico are not Americans. There's more Puerto Ricans in New York than there are on the island. My best friend in the world, in the whole world, my best friend. I've been friends with this boy since we was in the 5th and 6th grade. I dated his sister. I knew his sister first. He and I started, what, 1, 2, 3 breakdancing groups together. We grew up together. When they found out that my kidneys had died and I had to have surgery to put this implant thing up, this man, only friend that I got, flew from Pennsylvania to right here to Minnesota and spent a week with me here while I was sick, laying in a recliner, couldn't get up, barely to go to the bathroom, couldn't eat nothing. He is a full-blooded Puerto Rican. My best friend in the world. I'd be damned if I'm going to let some low-down dirty immigrant put down my people. That's never going to happen. Eric Lassaro ain't nothing but a coward. He's a low-down dirty, back-feeding coward. Let that be said. And you can send this to him via me. Pro-American. Dude, you have lost who you are. I feel sorry for you. I do. I do. He's another one. Ain't never been down there to help any of his Hispanic people during this here time that they're sitting in a house worried about eating. Their kids are not eating. That little shrimp ain't done nothing. But he can say this type of stuff. Not as long. Not around me. Block me so I don't see your crap. That's the best thing you can do. But you can't be a coward like that, bro. You can't. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Eric, if it came down to it. No, seriously. If it came down to it, Eric, you would be right with me. Because they don't really like you either. You try hard, brother, but they don't. Look at Vivek Ramaswamy. What's his name? Look at Nikki Haley. Bobby Jindal. All of them immigrants. Where they at? They kicked them to the curb. They ate Nick Fuentes like. We're going to tell the truth about the matter. But yeah, Michelle Tafoya, really, I don't know what to say. With her, I thought for sure that she wasn't one of them. That's what I kept telling myself, because I wanted to like her so much. That she wasn't. She was a Republican. Don't get me wrong, but she wasn't one of them type of Republicans. Because I don't know if she's like full-blooded, like, Republicans like to be full-blooded, what they call themselves, Americans, full-blooded white. I don't know what Michelle is. And if she's not, then that explains to me why she feels she's got to go so hard, because she wants them to like her so much that they have to go so hard in the paint. That's why I could never be a Republican, because I just cannot act a fool. I can't give up who I am. I just can't do it. It's just not worth it. Same thing with Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash ran her ass over there. Where's she at? Y'all dropped her like a hot potato. Y'all dropped Omarosa. James, I'd already talked about that situation at the beginning. I've already talked about that situation at the beginning. I'm not dealing with a phony, somebody who don't want to act like who they really are. I know who he is. I know. I've been around people who've been around him. I've been around him and know who he is, James. So that will be, James, so that will be a no. That's not happening. You can't be phony around me, man. You just got to be who you are. If you're going to be a racist, then be a racist. I'm not hating on you. I only hate you when you try to act like you're somebody that you're not. But anyway, so yeah, James, you got to go back at the beginning when I first came on. Watch this here, people. Watch this here. Okay. Whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. I'm not asking. And I don't be asking people to agree with me. I don't. But if you disagree with me, then just say you disagree. Don't call names. Don't hate. Don't be a troll. I thought I had another troll today. I got happy because a troll showed up. He was from Coquette, Minnesota, up north. And I was like, I don't get many racist trolls from up north. I don't. But I got one today, and I was getting all happy, and I thought we was going to have a conversation. Then old boy was like, oh, I think I picked the wrong dude. I ain't messing with this one. And he took off. I was kind of upset. He took off. So watch this here, okay? Y'all, again, you don't have to agree with me. When the Super Bowl first started, and then they started doing the Super Bowl halftime show, even the people at the stadium didn't stick around to watch the Super Bowl halftime show. Correct? And they tried it time and time and time again. And nobody was watching the Super Bowl halftime shows. Why is that? You know why it is. Don't act. Let's not act like. Y'all know why it is. I'll let you think on that. And if you want to answer it, you can. If not, we all know. And they were boring. They were so boring that when this show called In Living Color decided that nobody's watching the halftime show. So let's do a show on our own. Go look it up. Go look up In Living Color halftime show. And there's a story. And there's even a story. There's even a story behind what I'm telling you. I'm telling you some of the story. But if you go look up In Living Color, go to YouTube, A Living Color halftime. Somewhere in there, they'll break this thing down to you. I'm only giving you half of it. But you got to watch it. So, In Living Color decided what we're going to do is we're going to put on our own Super Bowl halftime show. Everybody turned from that boring tap dancing, that's what it was, halftime show, country, that's what it was, over to In Living Color. The NFL lost almost 30 million people to In Living Color. And In Living Color had this countdown, so let you know when to go back to the game. Everybody who was watching the halftime on TV left the NFL halftime show to go over to In Living Color to watch that show because the halftime shows were so boring. That's a fact. Then the NFL was like, we can never have this happen again. And just like Blade did for Universal Studio with Wesley Snipes, saved Universal Studio. Look it up. Just like the Cosby NBC was always number 3. Always. Cosby come on, number 1. All of that time. Just like Fox Network itself. When Fox Network first came on, it was all black shows. Save that network. Pump that network up. So what did the NFL decide to do? They said, we've got to, this can never happen again. They went out and got the biggest entertainer in the world to do the next Super Bowl halftime show. Did they not? Save that. Ain't nobody turning from Michael Jackson. I don't care what you had on any program. They wasn't turning from Michael Jackson. Save the Super Bowl halftime show. But my point that I'm making is this here. Y'all had the halftime show. Nobody was watching it. Nobody cared what you had on TV. If you would have made it better, if you would have done something different, we wouldn't be in the situation that we was in. But that's not what happened. He said, Rev, I watched the first quarter and the last 5 minutes of the game. Didn't give a shit about the agenda they were trying to shove us. Neither NBC or... Well, John, you again, you missed, and like everyone else, missed the point. And that's where I'm getting to, John. I started this off by talking about the post that I put out there about that white man who went down to Alabama and was murdered by white people because he was helping black people. For a whole year, the Republicans, Ron DeSantis, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump have told y'all that the word woke was the worst thing ever in the United States. Woke. People waking up. People seeing something different. John says that he didn't care. I don't give a crap about the agenda they were trying to push, trying to shove. And here is where I totally disagree with John. Because there's a problem we have, and we do, that a group of people don't want to talk about. So when people get an opportunity to say, okay, we're going to show you, that's what they do. Even though Bad Bunny, you couldn't understand anything that he said, John, you missed the message. You missed the message of unity. You missed the message of people coming together. You missed the message of how the Puerto Rican people became the United States. You missed the message of the oppression. You missed the message of the colorizing of the states. You missed the message of them being basically taken over like every place else that the United States decide they want to take. Those are the messages that, John, you decide that you didn't want shoved on you. And you got those messages, John, because you don't ever get those messages any other time. You're not going to sit there well, it was, he said, I believe it was a racially motivated and bad taste and no unity. See that? And again, brother, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. And I know, thank you for saying that, John. Don't. It's conversation. I know how sometimes people think that I'm getting on them or I'm being mean to them. No, sir. That's not where I'm at with this here, and I'm not there with anybody. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is, because we can't talk about it here. Every time you see, except for even what people don't understand, even Prince, even though Prince said, everybody always say, well, Prince had the best concert ever. You know why Prince had a best concert ever? Because nobody understood Prince's message. And even Prince's message was what has Prince always preached: peace and love. Because nobody got that. That's why they love Prince. Because they didn't think Prince was putting out a message. He was. Peace and love. And then what happened? Because nobody got that message, Beyonce came out with a straight message now. I mean, just a in your face, pow, in your face. And people don't like that. That's the part about the Super Bowl, John, that you didn't like. I don't like the message that's being given. And the reason you're getting that message in the Super Bowl, John, because you don't live that message every day. It's not every day that you're talking about, or you're going down, or you're helping. It's not every day that you're that white man that went down to Alabama and lost his life. All these white folks that's in the streets now, they're in the streets, even though the Republicans want to swear up and down, oh my God, they're being paid. No, these white people that's in the streets right now are that white man that went down to Selma, Alabama and got shot and killed. These people are in the streets right now because they see a change, because they want to change. We finally understand what brown people have been talking about. So when you say to yourself, I believe it was going to be racially motivated. There's a reason why, John, it's racially motivated, because we can't have that conversation. It's like I said, I put something up that I felt we all could have a conversation about, John. You didn't even say anything about that, John. About that white man that I posted. So what a lot of black artists and what a lot of black people say is this: if you're not going to talk to me on a daily basis about it, I'm going to get you on the biggest stage. I'm going to get you on the biggest stage. And then, but this year they said, we don't want to be woke. We don't want our eyes open to the racial injustice that goes on. And there is. Again, go watch Jim Crow North. Go watch Jim Crow North. Y'all can't sit there and act like. James said Prince always had an underlying message, and if you don't really know his music, right? Even Prince had, and that's what I'm trying to make people understand, James. Even Prince, because Prince's message is so subtle, a lot of people didn't catch on to it. They just got his music playing. And that's what a lot of people want. Just give me some dude that's standing by a microphone with a guitar and a pair of drums and a bass guitar and a lead guitar and just scream into a microphone. Give me what I saw lip syncing, badly lip syncing. Kid Rock was doing. I would rather see that than have my mind tested. I would rather watch this dude bounce around on stage using my heritage and what we made, the type of rap music I would rather see a white man do that than for someone to consciously test who I am. That's what you're saying, John. That's what they're saying. And Megyn Kelly today taught me that it is that ugly, that's bad, and that deep. I don't, after watching what this lady did and who she was and what she turned in to be, it's going to take my grandkids to when my grandkids are old enough. This generation has to die before we come to a point to where what Megyn Kelly did, no one acts like that ever. This generation has to die. This generation, where we're at in this generation is cooked. Forget it. After tonight, after I watch what Megyn Kelly did, we're cooked. There is no helping us. None. So my goal is to make sure that every little white kid, black kid, brown kid, yellow kid, my job now is to make sure that they understand that without each other, things are not going to get better. Without each other, that what we can't do is we can't hate on each other for because of the color of our skin. Because this generation that we're in now, no, man. No, this is still deep. This is still deep to when they didn't want black people in the front of the bus. This is still deep when they had to have one water fountain and another water fountain. This is still that deep. Megyn Kelly showed me that this is that deep. Eric Lassaro, as bad as it is, showed me that an immigrant can come over and believe that he could hate on someone who looks like him. It's that deep. And that's sad. That's sad. I believe that the Super Bowl should be one, again, where everybody's switching off, right? You bring in a Metallica. I like Metallica. I like a band like Metallica. You bring in a Guns N' Roses. I would love something like that. You bring in even Sting. Why don't we have a group? Because there's black country artists. I would love to see a Super Bowl where you got white and black country artists on the stage. I would love to see. I grew up with country. I love country music. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm from my grandmother, Elvis Presley, like you wouldn't believe. I know Conway Twitty. Watch Hee Haw every Sunday. I don't have a problem with country music. I'd like to see a Super Bowl that you got some of these young, talented black artists and these young, talented white artists Put together. Put that, please, Jay-Z. Put that together. Next time, put it together. And if you want to have a hee-haw on one side, Super Bowl, and you have a southern down-home country mud bogging Super Bowl for the black folks, and they out doing the line dance and two-stepping like we do, like we made up. Do that. What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be unity like you wouldn't believe. Who don't like? Everybody. Look, everybody like country music. Don't sit there and act like, oh, I don't like. Yeah, you do. I don't know too many people that don't like country music. Don't like country music. And if you go a little further, if you get like me, like rock and roll, right here. Because I got AC/DC on my playlist. I'll even go that far. Put AC/DC on. I'm cool with that. But I'm not going to sit here and tell people they're not American because they don't like something that I don't like, that they have no place in America because you don't like something that I don't like. The reason my wife is even here is because her mom is American. Even though her mom was born right there on the island in Puerto Rico. Her grandfather was born right there on the island of Puerto Rico. Her grandmother and grandfather and some of her uncles were born right there on the island of Puerto Rico. Don't be talking about non-American, pro-American this, pro-American that. Those people are just as much as Americans, Eric Lazaro, as you are. Matter of fact, they're more of because I think you're from Haiti or Mexico or somewhere. I don't think you're Puerto Rican. I don't even think you even close to being American. And you want to try to call somebody else out? We can do this Super Bowl thing and everybody will be happy. That's what I believe. But the reason why you get a message every single time there's a Super Bowl is because people are saying there's a problem. And then you got these people over here that says there isn't a problem. It's just like, what was I watching? Walter Hudson put out this video. This numbnut. I forgot. Something about this Japanese guy was talking about something about race. Or coming together, or we need to get together, or we need to make something. I don't, whatever it was. But this numbnut. Anyway, I'm running off on a tangent right now. Listen, people. If you've been following me from day one, if you've listened to any interviews that I've done on radio or anywhere, I will always, and have always talked about coming together as a people. Always. I've always talked about us coming from up under the thumbs of these parties and coming together as a people, because it's us that can make the difference. It's us that can make those people up there who call themselves being legislators and all that don't listen to us. When we come together, we can make them. I don't blame them. That's why I told you a long time ago. I said this last year. I don't blame them anymore. I don't. Because they're going to do what they want to do when they get up there. Because they're not doing anything for the people. You know why? Because we cannot come together and act as if we want things done. We're too busy fighting each other. When you got a boneheaded legislator, senator at that, that's going to try to bridge a divide between a group of people. When this bonehead put out that crap, Eric Lazaro, that one group of people are not pro-Americans? They're not they're not Americans? This dude who goes up there to that Capitol to make legislation, to make for all of us. It's supposed to be for everybody. But this numbnut is gonna talk about pro-American. I'm gonna go watch a pro-American. That's not right. Oh, and another one. What's his name? Pete Stabler, Pete. I want to know who's running against that dude. I asked him a couple times, who's running against you if you're up? Because I'm going to go, and whoever it is, I'm going to put 110% behind to get that one out of here. He needs to go. He's the worst one of them all. Pete, what's his name? Pete Stabler or something like that. I don't know what. He's a representative, something. He needs to go. And this is the thing. This is the reason why the Republican Party here in Minnesota is the way they are. Because of the people they put in office. Because they're people that they're letting be their mouth. Dusty Grange as their mouthpiece. That's their mouthpiece. That's why, yeah, that's him, James. That's why you want, oh, no, they're cheating. No, they're not cheating. They have sorry-ass cowards that's doing what they're doing. Yeah, Darius Rucker. Yeah, man. That's why the Republicans are so bad here, because of the people. Ain't voting. I'm not buying that. Nobody wants to vote for a Pete Stabler, whatever his name is. Nobody want to vote for him. Not with that type of crap, not with that type of rhetoric. And up in Elk River, my wife is from Elk River. Thank God she don't think like a lot of people up in Elk River. Because they think like Eric Lazaro. That's why he's still in office. Because you got a bunch of them. Boy, close. That's why he's still in office. And y'all sit here and act like Minnesota, the Minnesota nice crap. People, let me tell you something. Only thing you have to do is go to Eric Lazaro's page, and you that Minnesota nice will go down the drain like you wouldn't believe. Not some of the stuff that he put on there. Go to Dusty's page, and Minnesota nice will go down. Go to AK Camaro's page, and Minnesota nice thing will just go out the window. Those are the reasons why Republicans lose all the time. Because you got people like that behind you, talking for you. That's why. Ain't got nothing to do with votes. Get out of here with that crap. I'm past. My fault. 16 minutes. 16 minutes. I'm going to go up here and try to eat something. I literally have not been able to eat nothing for the past 2 days, man. So I'm going to go. We need the old generation and the new generations to start coming. That's not going to happen, John. Not going to happen. Because that old generation are the very ones who watched Turning Point USA. That old generation did that. That was complaining, upset. The old generation helped them get what they say, 7,000, 7 million views versus 139 million views. The world is changing, people. I know a lot of people don't want it to happen. You don't. You want it either to stay the way it is, or you want to go back a little bit. And I understand. Hold on. Let me say this here. And let me make sure we understand something. I understand when people sit there and say we don't like the way the world is going. We don't like the debauchery. We don't like the hate. And we don't like the men in women's bathroom. And all of that. I get that. There's a lot of things that the Democrats do. I just can't. I had like I said, I had to leave them too because the Bible in me do not align with a lot of things that the Democrats do. I cannot condone some of the things that the Democrats believe in. I just can't do it. And that's what gets me about a lot of black folks when I sit and talk to them and I go, but we talk about the Bible, we talk about God, we talk about how things are with God. How can you stick with the Democrats in who and what they believe in and where they're going with this thing? When you can't sit there, God said, I hold on, I want you to understand, I'm going to repeat what God said. God said, I'm going to make male. That's what he said. And he made male out of his image. He gave male a penis. That's what he did. He said, I'm going to make a helpmate. But if I make this helpmate, it got to be different than what I've already made. That's what he did. He put this man to sleep, went and got a rib, and he put it in the female, and he gave her a vagina. Then when they screwed up, he said, you know what? Y'all got to go. But what I want you to do is I want you to go out and I want you to feel the world. Then you say, well, how do they do that, Rev? Easy. Because the male has a penis and the female has a vagina, and then they come together, and then after 9 months, the female will deliver a baby. If you as a Democrat can't repeat what I just said, you're out your mind. Y'all can say that word, I can't. If you as a Democrat cannot repeat what I just said, you's a lying piece of shit. And you lied on God. Now, any point in time you want to tell me I'm wrong in what I just said, please do. Because this argument, I love to have this argument with you. But I don't think you can tell me that I was wrong in what I just said. And when a Democrat sits in front of Congress and act like they don't know what a male and a female is, I can't deal with them. I can't get with you. I can't. Remember kindergarten cop, Rev. What was I supposed to watch? What the movie Kindergarten Cop? Because I've never seen it. Am I supposed to? I'll watch it tonight if I am. If there's something in there that I'm supposed to see, then let me know and I'll watch it. I promise, John. And that's why I sit and I say, just like I said at the beginning of this, that black folks are truly a conservative group of people. Truly a conservative group of people. I believe, and I've said it. Oh, okay. I've never, you know what, bro? I've never seen that movie. So I've never seen that movie. We are a conservative group of people. The only, like I said, the only thing was at the Great Switch when the Republicans and the Democrats did this here. When the Democrats was like, we're not as racist as we was once, and the Republicans was like, we'll take that mantle and run with it. Let's start the Southern strategy. And what did Ronald Reagan did? Ronald Reagan went to the most racist place he could go to open up to make his announcement for his campaign. Look, no. I say that because I want you to look it up. He went, when Ronald Reagan first ran, what I want you to do, here's your homework for today. Where did Ronald Reagan go to announce that he was going to run for president of the United States? Now, got to remember, he's a California dude. Why couldn't he do it in California? Why could he not? He didn't want to. Look it up, people. Where did Ronald Reagan go to announce that he was running for president of these United States? Ronald Reagan set the tone early. He went to one of the most racist places you could go. Look it up, people. I'm not telling you something just to say it. Look it up. That's what your computers are for. Type it in there. Type it in there and go, where did Ronald Reagan start off his presidential run from? One of the most racist place that you can. So don't sit there and talk to me or try to talk to me about the Republican and racist. Don't do it. Because I'll trust me, when I say I can name some stuff for you, y'all don't want to have that conversation. Trust me, you don't. Trust me, you don't want to have that conversation. But Megyn Kelly, y'all need to go watch. You need to watch it. It's on my page somewhere. Go to my page when we're done, and it's Piers Morgan. Or look it up. Piers Morgan and Megyn Kelly, Super Bowl. And I really want you guys to just sit back and watch this lady transform right in front of your eyes. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You got to go see this. You got to see this, people. I'm not kidding. Anyway, hey, I'm done. I appreciate y'all. I thank you so much. The whole 9 yards. But I got to go. Like I said, I got to go see if I can eat something. I have not had anything to eat. And we've got to go. Well, I did. My wife made some, I just had one little square. She made these burrito type roll up cheeseburger something. It's 2 minute 30-second best clip I've seen in the 90s. Oh, okay. Appreciate it, man. I'll take a look at that. But I got to go eat something, people. I appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. Any questions or anything of that sort, hit me up on Twitter. We can have a conversation. And like I always tell people, if you ever want to come hang out with me, please let me know. I've got Yeah, please let me know, and we'll go from there, right? Y'all have a good night. Like always, understand and realize that we serve a mighty, mighty, mighty God. A honestly good God for each and every one of us. What we don't understand sometimes, it's so hard for each and every one of us to pick what we want to do and how we want to do it. But I want you to remember this here. For me and my house, we will always walk with the Lord. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That's why Joshua was so good. Joshua did everything the way it was supposed to be done. Everything that way it's supposed to be done. Read Joshua. Go. You want to read a really, really good book in the Bible? If you've never really read the Bible, go read Joshua. We will never be anywhere close to Joshua ever. But you can give it a shot. You can give it a shot. Stay blessed, John. You can give it a shot. And that God that I just finished telling you about, that when things are going bad, God can make them better. That God that I just started telling you about, when your spirits are low, He can lift them up. That God that I just finished telling you about, when your mind is messed up, He can regulate your mind. That God that I just finished telling you about, when chains are wrapped around you, He can unwrap them chains. Because He makes us a promise that He will never forsake us. Mom, Dad, everybody else will. And He will never leave us. Everybody else, when they get tired of you, poof. But God has always been right there for each and every one, no matter what you've done. No, I can tell you that. I can honestly sit here right now and tell you point blank, no matter what you have done, the God that I'm telling you about right now can turn your life around like you wouldn't believe. Again, I don't tell you what I think. I don't tell you what I read. I'm telling you my life and the way that I lived it and where I am today. 20 years ago, I wasn't a good person. I've always told people that. I don't want y'all sitting here going, wow, he must have come out the womb a good person. No. And I'm still, and look, every day, got to work on it. Got to work on it every day. Every single day. Every day. But as long as I've got this here God that I told y'all about on my side, I'm going to keep a smile on my face. And y'all know what we do with those smiles. We go out and we smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Y'all have a good night. I got to go eat. Peace. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye now.